Donate, partner, or volunteer today. Together, let's transform our educational landscape. EDTF, building futures and putting smiles on faces.
It's on. Yes, so Ijaw Youth Council Worldwide (IYC) Resurgence Mission 2026 don't come o. Now tested leader, a seasoned administrator, strong voice for Ijaw Nation, Barrister Ayibakura Igbeta, PhD, former legal advisor of the Ijaw Youth Council Worldwide, former SA Media and Publicity to MD CEO of NDDC, former SA on Youth Affairs to Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State, and now he currently Secretary General Bayelsa State Center for Youth Development. In vision, they very clear: unity for the council and protection of Ijaw people rights for all Naija Delta. The support for Tantisa Security Initiative and make government put better money for Naija Delta agencies, plus opportunity for all Ijaw youths for inside job matter and development. Yes, so time is for us to select the correct secretary we go pilot the affairs of the Ijaw Youth Council Worldwide (IYC) 2026. Oh yeah, we'll make you vote Barrister Ayibakura Igbeta, PhD, for Secretary General Ijaw Youth Council Worldwide. Vote wisely. Ado Alua Onua.
One of the problems we have in Nigeria is that it's difficult to have solid metals for creative engineering. So what you basically have in this country are tubes for building of houses and erection of structures and all that. But when you come to real metals that you can carve to engine block, metal that you can carve.
Kidnappings and abductions have gone on in Oyo and Borno states as 87 students and teachers have been abducted. Check out details of that story. Let's move on to Nigeria Tribune. Abducted Oyo school principal, teacher in videos appeal for rescue of students and teachers. Yeah, we've been seeing a whole lot of videos. We just hope that these victims be rescued and the perpetrators of this crime, this evil, be brought to book. Because what's the meaning of this? It's already difficult surviving in the country. Why do you have to kidnap your fellow Nigerian? Why? What do you want? How do you sleep at night? You know. Alright, let's move on to another headline. As APC holds Senate primaries today, Ogun East and Kwara Central, Imo West remain contentious. Okay, yeah, APC is holding its Senate primaries today. You see that Ogun East, Kwara Central, and Imo West remain contentious. Quite a whole lot. The All Progressives Congress is a trendy political party, the spirit, particularly because they are doing their party primaries. So, yeah, keep yourself informed as you check details. All right, let's move on to This Day newspaper. Quickly to the This Day newspaper. Uneasy calm at APC after first phase of primaries across Nigeria. Yeah, there has been uneasy calm at APC after first phase of primaries across Nigeria. It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. You want to serve, yeah, but you first have to know, you have to win those in your party that also want to serve, that also aspire to be what you aspire to be. So there's now an uneasy calm after the just concluded APC first phase of primaries, and I believe there's going to be more to see as they will be doing their Senate primaries. All right, Senate moves to fast-track state police after fresh Borno and Oyo schools abductions. Oh yes, please fast-track it. Please fast-track it, because the state governors are are confident that the strategy of state policing would really help in curbing insecurity and unrest. Yeah. All right, let's move on to the Daily Independent newspaper. Naira for jet fuel policy may spark fresh aviation crisis. Oh please, that's one of the safest means of transportation. Nothing should go wrong with the aviation sector, please. So Naira for jet fuel policy may spark fresh aviation crisis. Do well to check details of that story. MPC analysts split over rising inflation, weakening growth. All right, there's a whole lot of stories going on. There's a whole lot. So let's just conclude with the Business Day newspaper. Let's go over to the Business Day newspaper and conclude with that. On the Business Day, we see BOI secures $200 million AFDB facility to boost Nigeria's industrial growth. I mean, anything that will boost industrial growth in Nigeria is a good story. I mean, it's always important to have plans, but let's hope that whatever plans we have for good, I mean, actually does work out. So we see that BOI secures $200 million AFDB facility to boost Nigeria's industrial growth. Check out details of that very interesting headline, as it is available in the Business Day. Price surge tilts Nigeria toward rate hold. All right, that price surge tilts Nigeria toward rate hold. And finally, we see Dangote's London listing tests the Nigeria discount. We always have Dangote news available in the Business Day. I mean, he's Africa's richest man, Alhaji Aliko Dangote. So yeah, we see that his London listing tests the Nigeria discount. So keep yourself informed as you check through details of these and other stories, as they are all available in the various newspapers. We will be bringing you more news updates during Globe in View, so don't go nowhere. Stay glued to Naija Live TV. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Bobby Mparu.
State to home of peace, yo. We are for the peace. All for peace.
Dear esteemed community leaders and people of Bayelsa State, the Doiduri-led prosperity government is committed to transforming our rural communities into thriving hubs of development. We believe that every community deserves access to absolute peace and quality standard of living. To actualize this vision, we need your support and partnership. Join forces with us to improve rural infrastructure, enhance quality education, boost healthcare, and foster economic growth. Together, we can create opportunities for youth empowerment and employment, promote cultural heritage, and ensure food security and strengthen community social services. How you can support: participate in community engagement forums and collaborate with local government authorities and the Ministry of Community Development. Come, let's build a prosperous Bayelsa together.
Let there be peace, all for peace.
Courtesy, Honorable Alfred Belamonte Watson, Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Community Development. The impacts of climate change are upon us, necessitating adaptation and resilient building. In Bayelsa State, the recent annual rainy season has brought severe consequences, including excessive flash floods and river flooding, causing untold hardship for residents. However, Under the leadership of His Excellency, Senator Doye Duri, the Prosperity Government has taken proactive measures to mitigate these effects. The establishment of the Directorate of Floods and Erosion Control, along with the strengthening of other related agencies such as the Bayelsa State Emergency Management Agency, demonstrates a commitment to reducing the impact of floods. To further enhance resilience, major blocked canals, river outlets, and drainage systems are being cleared, and higher grounds have been identified in all 8 local government areas to provide safe havens during floods. While the government is dedicated to ensuring the well-being of Bayelsans, residents also have a crucial role to play by cooperating with government agencies, staying alert to flood warnings, maintaining a clean environment, clearing blocked drainages, and reporting challenges to relevant authorities for prompt action. Through collective efforts, they can bolster our resilience and effectively combat the challenges posed by climate change. Stay safe. Courtesy, Office of the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Environment, Honorable A.B. Ben Olu.
Every ripple starts with a single drop. In Bayelsa, that drop is the Education Development Trust Fund Board (EDTF). From the moment a child sits down to a nutritious meal to the day a scientist steps into a brand new laboratory, EDTF is there, turning challenges into opportunities. 5,000 meals served daily in our model boarding secondary schools. Biological sciences laboratory equipment delivered to Naija Delta University. 1,000 teachers and school leaders trained with the British Council. Special education teachers graduating from Ignatius Ajuru University under EDTF. Scholarship research grants fueling innovation in our state-owned tertiary institutions. TVET, science labs, water facilities, culinary kitchens, and clinical labs springing up across Bayelsa. Vocational scaffolding trainings and a computer-based testing center at UAT Tororua. These are not just projects, they are ripples that spread across classrooms, communities, and the entire state. But a ripple grows stronger when more hands join the water. So whether you're an organization, or a corporate partner, or an individual who believes in education, you can be part of this ripple. Support EDTF and help us expand Ripple. Donate, partner, or volunteer today. Together, let's transform our educational landscape. EDTF, building futures and putting smiles on faces.
I want to see what they
Eyes on. Yes, so Ijo Youth Council Worldwide (IYC) Resurgence Mission 2026 don't come o. Now tested leader, a seasoned administrator, and strong voice for Ijo Nation. Barrister Ayibakura Igbeta, PhD, former legal advisor of the Ijo Youth Council Worldwide, former SA Media and Publicity to MD CEO of NDDC, former SA on Youth Affairs to Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State, and Naimi currently Secretary General Bayelsa State Center for Youth Development. In vision, they very clear: unity for the council and protection of Ijo people rights for all Naija Delta. The support for Tantisa Security Initiative and make government put better money for Naija Delta agencies, plus opportunity for all Ijo youths for inside job matter and development. Yes, so time is for us to select the correct secretary wey go pilot the affairs of Ijo Youth Council Worldwide (IYC) 2026. Oh yeah, make we quick vote Barrister Ayibakura Igbeta, PhD, for Secretary General Ijo Youth Council Worldwide. Vote wisely. Ado Alua Onua.
One of the problems we have in Nigeria is that it's difficult to have solid metals for creative engineering. So what you basically have in this country are tubes for building of houses and erection of structures and all that. But when you come to real metals that you can carve to engine block, metal that you can carve to a shaft or gear, there is nowhere to get in this country. So a country that does not have a shop for metals to cut can never develop. If we had shops where you can go and buy all kinds of grades of metals. It will be easier for the young to get the metals and come to a place like us, and then we will carve it for them, cut, bend, and then do all that. This country will develop, but we don't have. We have to look at China or any of those countries to bring those things to us. So that is the story of Nigeria.
Z10 for high-tech precision engineering. A technology and heavy-duty industry. Original spares for automotive, locomotive, aviation, marine and agriculture. Research and development for automotive engines and electric cars. Heavy-duty off-road equipment. Reverse engineering. Technological development. Academy for innovators and impressionable minds.
Bayelsa State, home of peace, yo. We are for the peace.
Welcome to Chat with Naija Live TV. My name is Barbie Mparu and I'm joined by
Henry Maifula here.
Yeah, so today we examine issues surrounding governance, political loyalty, continuity in leadership, and the evolving dynamics of politics in Bayelsa State. We have a very interesting person joining us to do justice to our amazing topic. He is Barrister Aibakuro Igbeta, PhD. He is a two-time Secretary General of the Center for Youth Development, a legal practitioner, public affairs commentator, youth advocate, and political figure from Bayelsa State. He's widely known for his engagement in political and youth-related issues within Niger Delta and is currently frontline aspirant for the position of National Secretary General of the Ijaw Youth Council, IOIC, worldwide, ahead of the council's forthcoming national elections. Today he joins us to discuss governance, loyalty, and continuity, why I still support Governor Doye Diri. Barrister Igbeta, welcome to Chat with Naija Live TV.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for having me here.
You're welcome. So
it's good to have you, really.
It is. Let's start with the center question.
All right.
Why do you still support Governor Doye Diri's administration?
Okay, well, first of all, let me thank Naija TV, our staff, and almost our esteemed viewers for having me here today. A lot of people do not understand that the prosperity government is our brainchild when it comes to the youth wing. I remember in 2019 when I served out my tenure as special assistant to the then MD of NDDC, Professor Nelson Brambayefa. Before then, I have been linked to my late boss, the late deputy governor, Senator Lawrence Orijakpo of blessed memory. He's my boss, somebody I served for almost 14 years before his demise. And I was his essay on youth, I was his #1 youth mobilizer. And I think in 2019, he called me and we sat, I remember, and discussed that, see, we are ushering in another leadership in Bayelsa. And he would want me to play a very key and pivotal role, as I've always done. I was the DG of the Orijakpo options when he was going for Senate. I was in charge of the youth. I'm not from Sagbama, I'm from Nimbe. I'm from Bayelsa East. He's from Sagbama. But my political affiliation has always been with the West, strongly. I was one time also DG. I formed the Keneba Youth Vanguard, the President House of Assembly member serving in Sagbama constituency too. I'm just trying to narrate my political trajectory. And at the end of the day, I was called that a new leadership is coming in, as usual, come up with a youth organization. So I formed the Diri Law Youth Project as at the time. I can boldly tell you that was almost the number one youth organization as at the time, because a lot of people that can reminisce that era, it was engulfed with a lot of political tide shifts from the PDP then to the APC. The whole state was like 60-40. A lot of persons were clamoring around in terms of the political cycle, not in terms of population, around the new bride then, the APC leadership. And we were the one that stood with the PDP. Another youth organization sprang up as at the time also, the Diri Law Youth Network, headed by my brother and friend Ibilade Kerefe as at the time. And we were the only two youth organizations that were inaugurated by the governor of the day, Doi Diri, and his late deputy. Were inaugurated, we had our secretariat. In fact, the whole youth organogram was resting on our shoulders. And we fought even when we lost the election. We were like orphans because we were in the political quagmire, not knowing what channel to take in terms of our political journey. And by God's willing, as God may have it, on that fateful day of 20th of February, that landmark judgment of the Supreme Court was pronounced, and we came into office. You know, you can see where we are coming from. We are not people that came to join the prosperity administration of His Excellency Senator Doidiri halfway. We were part of the baking process. We were there when the odds were down. We were there when the whole odds were against us. And we fought and we stood. And today we are proud of what the governor is doing in all sectors. And this is what we saw, that we tried as much as possible to stand with the governor, because we know that Bayelsans will be the major beneficiaries. Today I can boldly go anywhere and say to people that the decisions I took 6 years plus ago wasn't the wrong decision as far as the political future of this state is concerned. So we are not people that are just coming to identify or recognize with the government. We have always contributed our quota. We have always stood with this government. We have always been very vocal and very visible in the policies and programs and the organogram of this administration.
Okay. When you say that the decision you took several years back, you're very comfortable with them today and you're happy, I mean, what really is informing this? Is it the projects that the
yes.
has done? Is it the policies of the government? Is it the fact
yes.
that you went to APC? You comfortable with that too?
Well, like I will always tell people, we live in a dynamic society. What is the essence of politics? What is the essence of leadership? Delivering the needed dividends of democracy to the people. Trying to achieve and actualize the campaigning promises you made to the people. Trying to keep to your word by walking the talking. And that is what this governor has brought to bear.
He's kept to his word.
Yes. One of the most cardinal things that we have always enjoyed in this state, that is underrated up till date, is the peace that we are currently enjoying in Bayelsa.
Security.
It wasn't like this. The security, the peace, the free will and the expression. Everybody can go around, do their normal day-to-day businesses. Private sectors are booming, doing their own businesses. And when you also talk about why am I so comfortable, you can see what is happening with infrastructure. You can see the road network that is cutting across the whole senatorial district. I'm from the Bayelsa East, and I can tell you that the Nebe Brass Road is mind-boggling. If you don't have an elephant heart, you cannot embark on a gigantic project of that nature. Conceiving and conceptualizing the idea alone is very challenging. And this governor took that bold step, because I remember those were part of our campaign promises when we were campaigning in that axis. And when he started the project, I can understand that he meant whatever he said as at the time. You can see what has happened to the Oproma people. Today, you can drive to Oproma a 630-meter bridge that was almost looking impossible. I think the longest right now within this part of the world, especially within this South region. And is it about human capacity development? Is it about security? Is it about the health sector? You can see what is happening with the BHIS scheme. You can see what is happening with civil servants. You can see the new civil service secretariat that is ongoing, the 9-story secretariat that is ongoing. That project was it was the foundation laying ceremony was done just less than a year, and you can see where they have taken the project to. What about the sports sector? Look at what is happening with the new Bayelsa Stadium at Igbogene. You can go on the road networks. You can go on and on and on. And these are the things we want to see. These are the essence of development. These are the essence of governance. These are the essence why, or these are the reasons why we go into politics. Politics is not about wooing people to come to support you. When they support you, it's a social contract. What are you giving back to them? And that is what this governor has proven. And you talked about is decamping to the APC. Well, like I told people, politics is dynamic. Leadership is about loyalty. A lot of people asked, I remember when my late boss died, and they were like, why didn't you go to the NDC? Because most of his people are in the NDC. Why are you with the governor? I said, well, one thing I've learned from my late boss is absolute loyalty. Until his demise, he has shown that, and he has always drawn my ear to that this is a project we started. Remember, whether good or bad, you must stand with this project until the governor finishes strong. That is how you take full responsibility and liability in every of your actions. And that is what informed my decision. Probably if my late boss would have been alive, I would have maybe, who knows, maybe taken either this same twist, because I know the governor also, my boss also believe in loyalty. So when a lot of people try to have these innovations, that why would the governor go? The governor sees what we don't see. And as a leader, we must be ready at all time to try to follow his lead, because you can see what is happening in the country. You must connect with the center for you to be able to attract more development to the people.
Well, if your late boss were adamant and had remained in the PDP, or perhaps defected to the NDC, would you have joined him to defect to the NDC, or would you rather defect to the APC? If this is an if.
No, that also depends on the political circumstances and dynamics as at the time. Like I told you, I served the boss who, if out of conviction, political conviction, either personal or otherwise, you decide to take a different political twist from him, is somebody that will not cajole you to say, why didn't you go my way? You understand? Because he has always shown, because I'm an appointee of the governor, and if the circumstances as at the time demand me showing loyalty, I think my decision that I've taken now wouldn't be different if that may have been the case.
The thing is, political parties in most cases have ideologies.
Yes.
Which do you think would have really appealed to you? The NDC is there. Former Governor Dixon and the Senator represented by Bayelsa West. The political ideology of the NDC, do you think you'd favor that over the APC? If you really keenly observe both manifestos, the party manifestos, would you have favored that? Or no, that's not you.
I am an academic doctor, and my ideologies are quite different from the main conventional reasoning. I believe more in leadership, in individual conviction, than party followership. Party followership is just a vehicle for you achieving a particular political ideology. What makes a political party to be very pronounced is when they can be able to produce good leadership. So I tail more to individual leadership prowess than blindly following a political platform based on their ideology. When I see leadership in an administrator delivering the dividend of democracy to the people, trying to do what the people had expected him to do, I think that is where I see ideology come to play. not the political party he belongs to. You know, we have gotten to a time where it is now very visible that we should pay less attention to our political party affiliations. Rather, we should pay more attention to individual capacity, individual technical know-how, individual leadership prowess of whomever we are following in leadership. And that is what this governor has shown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your response now shows that you favor Diri's leadership style over
political affiliation.
Over maybe NDC leaders' leadership style.
No, I would not say they are leaders in their own rights. They are leaders in their own right. And again, I want to also make people understand something. We all know ourselves in these states. You getting a new clothes doesn't make you a born again. Just because you've been wearing one particular shirt and you got a new clothes, that doesn't take away who you are. It only changes your identity. It doesn't change the capacity or the character that you possess of. So in all way, that's why I said the political platform does not matter in most cases. The question is what the leader at that particular time is doing. Is it what the people want? Is it leading you right? You know, there is what they call blind followership too. You must be very careful. Is it giving you the needed opportunity to also express yourself and to build yourself? And I always tell young people, there are different patterns of followership. Now, a lot of people follow for reward. If you follow for reward, you may not have the needed reward and you will never be contented. But if you follow for experience and for knowledge and for, how would I put it, to develop yourself.
That's also rewarding, is it not?
No, it is rewarding, but when I mean reward, the other reward is a material reward. People follow a particular system because they want this and they want
pecuniary
that.
Gains.
Yes, pecuniary gains. You will miss it. A lot of the times I discuss with my people, I said, the only way to make money is to pay less attention to looking for money.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Well, that's a life lesson.
Pay less attention to looking for money.
That. Oh, really?
If you pay attention in looking for money, you will not make money.
You will make it.
Money always run away from those who are desperate coming to them. But if you create relationships, if you create avenues, if you create baits here and there, and leave it, it will germinate and money will come. You know, that is one thing a lot of people like.
You should make your book available so we'll come and purchase it, because we really have a lot of lessons to take from them. But yeah.
Okay, so I want to ask, you are loyal to Governor Diri.
Yeah, 100%.
From your everything, all the points you've given.
Yes.
But you'd agree with me that critics still condemn Governor Diri's administration when we talk about the fact that we're still suffering unemployment for fresh graduates, underdevelopment, you know, and then there's been a whole thingy with the Bayelsa State International Airport. Why is it flying once in a week? And so many things have been coming. So, Barrister Aibakuro, let me hear from you. For Governor Diri, are you defending results or relationships? Let's look at it that way, because you mentioned something also about relationships.
Yes.
Relationships.
Yes.
So are you defending relationship or results?
Well, it may shock you to know that I don't have any personal relationship with the governor.
You've not gained anything from him?
Not that I have not gained anything from him, but I don't have any personal relationship with the governor.
You are an essay to him?
Yes. My appointment came from him. But when I mean I'm an aide to the governor, as per the status of my appointment as Secretary General, Center for Development, but I don't have that personal relationship with him. Now, coming to your question, you know, in every system, or even in our personal lives, if you don't have critics, then there is something wrong. Something is wrong. You know, criticisms are beautiful way of reassessing and re-examining yourself, your policies and program, so that you can do more better for the people. It may even surprise you. I tell people, if you are leaving your house and you see one beggar and you begin to give him 100 naira, 100 naira, 100 naira, one day the beggar will grumble, will I die with 100 naira? Can't you increase it to 200 naira? That is the human nature What am I saying? You cannot please and satisfy all your citizenry. Everybody, you are leading. Now, you talked about a lot of factors. I don't follow people because of relationship. I have a lot of bosses in this town, cut across all sectors outside the states. But one thing you will not see me do, you will not see me in my leader's house unannounced or trying to go and find favor. I don't believe in that. I believe in visible projections. I believe in what I can see. Today I've mentioned a lot of areas. If you tell me to mention what the Governor Doidiri have done, I can mention them. I can go ahead and ahead. You're talking about unemployment. I know a lot of people who have benefited from this recent 1,000 civil service employment scheme. And I can tell you for free, a lot of them do not even know anybody in government house. This employment went seamlessly and a lot of them got the jobs. Let me also shock you. There is a particular situation, I think the teachers recruitment that was done of recent, before my lead boss died. That recruitment was done and some names were published. Then later, I think another list came on board, replacing those ones. They cancelled that list. Do you know what the governor did? Because that first list was on merits. We don't know how the second list came about. Some of us also complained. Some of us did the complaint to my lead boss too. But the governor, to the surprising of everybody, took the decision that that list that was cancelled should be retained. And rather the subsequent one that we don't know how it came about within the system was stepped down. And that is who this man is. Okay. You talked about the Bayelsa International Airport. The Bayelsa State government yesterday was just awarded with the license to operate, the NCAA license, issued by the Minister of Aviation, Festus Kayamo. It was issued to the Managing Director of the Bayelsa State Airport. And it was handed over to the governor yesterday. You know, aviation sector is highly intense and is very demanding. For you to get those licenses, I think I have a little bit of, I have a colleague somewhere in NDDC where I have a retainership with. He dealt on aviation, and I know I went through some of his writings because we all did PhD together. And I saw that the licenses, some of them has a compulsory period of inspection. You can't just go there and they will just issue you. There are some period that you must, it's just like building a house. If you do the decking, you must leave it for, I think, 21 days or something. There are licenses that you can't just get. After your airport is there, they must come and reassess it. They will give them a time frame. They will come again and reassess it, give it a time frame. Sometimes it takes up to 12 months. Sometimes it takes up to 24 months before those licenses will be issued. And they must also guarantee the viability, the commercial stability of that airport. And the aviation sector is highly capital intensive also. You must understand that. You know, with the rate of funds, paucity of funds and number of projects going on at the same time in the states, you can only understand what the government of the day is going through in trying to see that they try to satisfy to an extent all sectors within their ambit. So criticisms are part of governance. These people criticizing, there are people we've seen that criticize the government. Then at the end of the day, you also see them commending the government. When the government, see, without criticism, you just be like a blind leader. You will not know. When everybody claps for you, then you know that there is something wrong in leadership.
Oh, criticism you have mentioned.
Yes.
Loyalty you've also mentioned.
Yes.
Do you think that by virtue of your position as a Bayelsa that wants the development of Bayelsa State, there are areas you could point out in Doidiri's administration that, well, he's not getting it right at all. We all want development in Bayelsa State, even though you pointed areas where, I mean, it's commendable, yeah? Well, are there areas you think that the governor needs to rejig, do something, appoint someone else, or do something better to have a better result? Are there areas like that?
Yes, of course there are. The governor is not doesn't fall from the sky. The governor is full-blooded like you and me, and the governor is not omniscient. Neither is it omnipresent that he will be able to fulfill the yearnings and aspirations of all Bayelsans. You know, there are some areas that we know that there may be some vacuum or some lacuna in terms of governance. Nobody can have it all. Governance is continuum. And again, what I use to assess the level of development in every administration is the equation, the ratio. When you know that the person is scoring 70, even in school, or 80, that is a pass mark, a very good pass mark. Somebody must not score 100 over 100 for you to know that the person have scored a very good grade. You understand? And again, one thing we should also be very careful. There is what they call ideological change, psychological change in psychology that is going on. I give an analogy some time back. I said, when you are going through the tutelage of leadership, you must understand that the style of leadership you follow will also reflect in your own subsequent exhibition and relationship with other people in society. If you are following a leader who is peaceful, if you are following a leader who is stable, if you are following a leader who is very subtle in taking decisions, it only goes to show that you are learning a new phase in terms of leadership. Fine, there are a lot of maybe some areas where people may feel that the governor has not done well. I also know that the governor has also shifted grounds in terms of the political conventional political arrangement in the states. For instance, you can see what is happening with the party primaries. A lot of people want the governor to use the style of other of his predecessors, where when his primaries, the governor should just unpick A, B, C, D and just make them whomever he likes. You understand? I can also tell you for free that my own stakeholders, the member stakeholders, were called yesterday to Government House to make a decision and vote it in front of the governor, when the governor even have the sole right to choose whomever he wants to choose. But the governor deemed it fit to call stakeholders from areas where there are conflicts, where there are worrying conflict and where there are visible crises, to say, okay, you people are the stakeholders from this area. You don't expect me to impose a candidate on you. Come and decide for yourself. And they go into ballots indoor. And whoever maybe decide takes the day. And that is what the governor has been doing, carrying everybody along.
If the governor is really carrying everybody along, why are there people who are defecting from the APC? He's such a loving governor, one who would bring all sides together.
No, you don't. Let me also address that point. See, God in his infinite mercy knows a way of actualizing the dream or the political aspiration of every individual. A lot of people defecting and not defecting because they have an issue with the governor, because they don't like the style of the governor. Some people have the conviction that they are the ones that should be there in that seat. So if they don't stand a chance in actualizing that dream in that particular political platform, and they have other platform where they are favorites, they want to go there to explore the opportunity there, so that if they emerge, they will still support the governor. And also, the governor brought in an innovation in the political cycle of these states, which will stand the test of time and which will also be an indelible print in the annals of our history. When he came on board, I think he was one of the first persons that appointed people from the opposition. He appointed, then he was in the PDP, and his appointment on second term were people from the APC. I think the APC had over like 4, 5 or 6 commissioners in his cabinet.
Wasn't that a response to the evolution, the kind of politics? One introduced by the present FCT minister, anti-party kind of politics. These persons were probably rewarded.
They are different. They are different. The FCT minister has brought a very negative political.
The anti-party kind of politics.
Yes. What the governor did was an inclusion.
Those persons, you're saying they did not play anti-party.
No, if you don't have any I believe in fact, I'm a lawyer. If you don't have any verifiable facts or evidence, you don't stand a chance to accuse anybody. Now, I also subscribe to that ideology, where it's not because of the fact that you've been fighting with your brother. If you look at even my campaigns in my IYC election I'm going into, I've always told people that everybody contesting with me is qualified, and the governor plays that kind of politics too. And I learned that from the governor also. You know, you understand that we are all Bayelsans. And something is happening. This is the governor that brought it very open. I also know that previously, state government also tried to recoup expenses of those who contest with them after a governor emerges. This one, the governor has brought in that love and togetherness, an all-inclusive government, where people who has what it takes should not be denied the opportunity of serving their people just because they belong to an opposite political platform. That is not anti-party. That is a different kind. But I think what the FCT minister, to his credit, is doing is visible, where you are here and you are cutting the short here and you are doing this and you are doing that.
What the FCT minister is doing is anti-party.
Obviously, strictly.
How is that anti-party? Because you're one who does not believe in making statements without facts.
Anti-party, you can see that the governor, the FCT minister, I believe in fact, like I told you.
He's one who is still in the PDP. Still now.
He's still in
and PDP. And all PDP governors have left.
No, listen. It's not about leaving. He's in PDP, and he's obviously telling you who is in PDP that nobody should field the presidential candidate against the APC government is working for.
They have a presidential candidate, are you aware?
No. He said it.
Okay.
He said it. And he also said that anybody that works against the re-election of the president whom he is serving, that is going to fight the person to stand still. And that is what he's doing. That is obvious anti-party.
So you're saying the likes of the Minister for Petroleum, State Petroleum, did not support Governor Doideri to emerge as governor, and neither did David Lyon, who have people, supporters, and proteges who are commissioners in Doideri's government today. That's what you're saying. You want to tell
they may have supported them out of camera, behind the scene, but they will never see them make proclamations affirming.
So you're saying
publicly.
That support was an anti-party?
No, for me, anti-party, everybody in life.
Even if at the end of the day, the support jinxed the chances of Chief Silver for him to have emerged as governor.
that is a personal. That's what I'm saying. See, they said everybody may be a thief, but who then cash may be thief. You understand?
Right.
Everybody may be a thief, but who then cash may be thief. So that is where the wisdom comes in.
Okay, as they no cash am now.
Yes, if they no cash you for something, they said maybe in the scene of crime something happened, if not for the fact that there are accessories before, during, and after a crime. If maybe even if you are the one that was with the gun in armed robbery scene and they did not find the gun in your hand, and you just claim that, well, I'm just here, but one person was just with his gun. That person is the one that is a criminal, even if you are found within that perimeters.
Alrighty.
It is until when you are proven.
Let's backtrack. Okay. We have a lot to cover, so let's backtrack a little. Okay. I had asked a question around areas you think that, well, the governor should probably do better. I mean, you mentioned that you gave a lot of talk around that, but you did not quite mention specific areas where you noticed that, well, the governor, there is a felt need here, and you've not quite addressed this felt need.
Well, it's dynamic. Areas whom I may feel that the governor may not be doing well, others may feel the governor is doing well. And also areas where I feel the governor is doing well, others may also feel the governor is not doing well. So it's dynamic. So for me, like I have said, it is an omnibus statement I made that in governance you cannot satisfy and please everybody. There are still areas where there are vacuum, where there is need for improvement. But we shouldn't forget governance is continuum. So where it didn't finish, where it didn't do well, other people will come and continue from there.
All right, so let's look at IYC.
All right.
Yes, let's look at IYC. We hear that you once served as the legal advisor.
Yes.
In 2017.
Yes.
Thereabout. And again, you had ambitions to contest as the Central Zone chairman, but you stepped down. Why? Why did you step down? First,
you were asked to step down, right?
Yes, you were asked to step down. You mentioned loyalty, but I don't know if we are supposed to be scared of loyalty. I mean, there should be a limit to loyalty. You had your ideology, you had your everything, all your plans to serve as the chairman of the IYC Central Zone. Why did you step down? What was that about?
Well, that is, in fact, I don't know, you caught me on the web. That is one one of the very few and foremost areas where my loyalty was truly tested. You know, it was one painful decision that I have to make for the interest of sacrifice and for the interest of our government.
Okay.
I served as legal advisor from 2017 to 2020. I was appointed special assistant to the MD of NDDC. I was the youngest special assistant then at the level of level 16 of the civil service hierarchy, and I left as SA and I was engulfed with this IYC Central Zone aspiration. And I think that time, do you know where the loyalty, where the temptation was so paramount? I was having my money to contest that election without resorting to government.
Okay.
And I was having money to pay my delegate. I think I was one of the predominant aspirants at the time.
Because usually some people would see your stepping down as maybe his godfathers did not fund him.
Yes. And now, at that time, a lot of people knew that was not the situation.
Okay.
You know, as a young man who was SA, of course, you know what SA means in NDDC. And I served.
We don't know.
No, people know.
We don't know.
We have the likes of Blessing Olomu. He was SA too. While I was SA.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
We're getting the picture now.
We're
getting the picture. We're getting the picture.
My leader. So now I was engulfed with calls. You know, I think the governor was looking for me and my stakeholders, and my lead boss called me. The member representing Yenagoa Kolokma Federal Constituency, Honorable Forju, was there, and the then Commissioner of Police was there in his office. And when I went to my Oga saw that I was crying. He said, "You have to go and see the governor. For my sake, you have to go and see the governor." Because
so
I already
your
knew.
relationship with governor started.
Yes. So now you have to go and see the governor. I said, "Oga, they will ask me to step down. Allow me just to contest this election."
Just to put in proper context, Governor Doyediri.
Governor Doyediri, yes. That your stakeholders are with the governor. You know, the governor is not also somebody that likes suppressing or imposing any candidates. That's one quality we have in this governor, we have in Bayelsa as of today. So when I approached the governor, my stakeholders were there, and the governor said, "I heard from the security report," I'm quoting him, "I heard that you are one of the best in this election, but your stakeholders and some people said you should step aside for another person to go for now." And I said something to the governor. I said, "Your Excellency, sir, that is not the situation. They said I'm deputy governor's boy. That is why they said I shouldn't contest the election." Then the governor said, "No, the deputy governor and the governor are the same people." I said, "I know, Your Excellency, but I cannot be taller than you, my leader." They said, "Okoro cannot be taller than its owner. So for your sake, I will heed to your counsel and your directive." And I also said something. I said, "Your Excellency, I hope tomorrow, when a particular situation arises again, for you to use that same machete you are using on me, hope you are also going to use it on another person too." And I think I discussed and I left. And I was not the only one. Other candidates were also called, but they refused. About 3 or 2 of them refused to step down. The governor called them the way they called me, and they went into the race. In fact, on that fateful day, in the evening again, I got a call that the governor said I should follow them to all the hotels where the delegates are camped, because the delegates find it very difficult to believe that I have stepped down. So I have to go and convince them. And when I went there, you know, I answered a lot of names as at the time. Betrayal, I've betrayed them. They stood by me. Now I've gone to government house to collect money. You know, those kind of petty. But it's normal, it's usual in the circumstances like this.
Yeah, very true.
So I made that sacrifice. The following day, on the day of election, I also went to the venue to announce my stepping down openly. And I see some people were also crying, some people were not happy, you know, and I have to now calm wounds. That was how the chairman as at that time emerged in Central Zone. And today again, I am still vying for the office of the Secretary General.
If the governor calls you to step down, would you?
Especially because you say you don't have a relationship with him.
No, you know, the governor is a very objective, fair, and very equitable character.
Okay.
The governor I know is a very fair, just, equitable character. If a governor have asked you to step down and there is another situation, the governor will never ask you to step down again.
What if the person
you're saying that's absolute though?
No, I am telling you who I know Governor Doidiri to be.
So if he's asked you to step down once,
he will not
So
allow
once
you.
is enough.
He cannot strike you more than once.
this confirms that you're likely the governor's candidate.
I am not. Even right now, I can also tell you for free that there are some candidates who are contesting this election that still believes that the governor will still ask me to step down. They are bragging. Okay. They believe, they said, is it not the governor that asked him to step down even when his late boss was there? Now, too, it's a matter of letting him be jumping. We'll just ask the governor to ask him to step down again. Especially now that his late boss is not there. Nobody's even speaking for him in government house.
Well, you have contested, you've been legal advisor of
Yes.
the IYC Worldwide.
Yes.
Contested for Central Zone Chairman.
Yes.
Asked to step down. And now you're looking to be the National Secretary. One would ask, why don't you raise this bar up and go for the president? I mean, why are you running for president?
Right?
Yes, IYC is a very unique.
Why run for secretary?
Is a very unique organization. The Secretary General is more or less like the de facto president of the zone. You are the leader of the zone. And again, council is built around 3 major offices in the IYC.
Okay.
The president, the Secretary General, who is the head of the secretariat, who is the policy maker, is that the policy drafter of the entire council, then the spokesman of council. So if you must get it right as president, you must rise within these pyramids for you to be able to garner the needed experience and prowess for you to deliver. I'm not also somebody, I like what my trajectory has always been service to my people. Especially, I don't like overpricing myself. Even when a lot of people feel like you are more than this, why are you doing this? I like serving people. I like coming down to serve people. And I feel I'm a stabilizing factor in whatever I do. I think I was secretary to the Prosperity Youth Coalition, as you know, when Dobara Komoko was the DG for over 2 years plus. And you can see the stability I brought into that organization. And that has been my style. I always don't like maybe being at the forefront most of the times. I like serving from behind. I like service a lot. I like loyalty. And that is what I learned. And that is why at this time I'm picking up the challenge. Because if you look at council, one of also the very fundamental reasons why I took up the challenge is to give council some level of image laundering. You understand? To give council a new face. It's better that everybody cannot sit somewhere and some minister from somewhere from another ethnic background will come and say thunder with fire Ijaw nation, and it better will not take the media to respond to him. It better will respond to him. That is
so
the
you're
kind
saying
of
the
person.
current Secretary General or even the President?
No,
the President responded to you.
everybody.
I know that
Everybody have their style of leadership.
So you're radical?
No, I am not radical.
Okay.
I address issues for issues.
Hold on.
The
from the Kubri, and you're saying that you would rather do different. I mean, he did not address.
He has his own style of addressing issues regarding to that. We know what he did. He also responded to those issues beautifully. Jonathan tried with his neck. This issue of Fubara being an Ijaw man, we know how tactically there are so many times Jonathan came on to challenge them and to also say stop to most of those things that were happening. He defended the Ijaw interest very perfectly. But I have my own style. There are some things some of us nip at the head. We nip it at the head, so that at the end of the day, they said when you allow your child to always come close to your testicles, to come and play with your testicles always, he will see it as if it's a rope, so he will now always be drawing it.
You've taken after your late boss in doing proverbs.
It's not the other testicle that my late boss that
your late boss
must first inform the second wife.
The same testicles proverbs. But
so that is how it is. So everybody have their own style. You understand? But for me, I like addressing. That is my style. I like addressing the issues.
Your style, the gay style.
No, that is another area we are
Because we
trying
have
to-
two styles that I think I know. Begin an intellectual
No,
approach.
I told people that when you grow in terms of, when you are vast and experienced in terms of academics, you begin to understand that there are a lot of things that you can achieve with negotiation instead of violence. A lot of things you feel you can use violence to achieve. You can even achieve more if you are passing through the right channel. Like I tell people, we are going into the pen struggle with the IYC. We are not going to that BK style of IYC again. Now, for instance, if you have Fugados in my area operating, or maybe Ajip or maybe ExxonMobil operating in my area, and you feel they are not keeping up with their corporate social responsibility, or they are not adhering to the Local Content Acts by trying to resort to indigenous people in carrying out their assigned jobs, and they are bringing in outsiders maybe to come and do those jobs, what do? It's not for you to go there and make the noise. You first of all, you petition them to the NSA, you go to the National Assembly. There are the institutions that are responsible in trying to checkmate and oversee them. You first take up the matters in those areas. They should, for me, that is one of my campaign policies, where we are going to return power back to the clan structures, where every clan, if you know there is a particular firm or IOCs operating in your area or doing any servicing job in your area, we must approach them to show us the certificate of local content compliance first. You must show us the certificate so that let us know our people that are from that area that are engaged by your firm. Those are the areas. And again, we must have a comprehensive database. I know that we have suffered enough in this region. Even if we house the economic base of the nation, or maybe we are an economic powerhouse of the nation. Now, most of these companies and most of these firms hide under the guise that they cannot get the needed skill sets within our space. You know, everybody must not go to school. Everybody must not be skilled. We have skilled, semi-skilled, and unskilled labor anywhere you go in the world. There are those who are scaffolders, there are those who believe in painting, there are those who are skilled in electrification, there are those who believe in tile making, you know, mention them, a lot of them. So we must have a comprehensive database where you just go into that setting and drop your skill sets, what you are good at. Your local governments, your community, the kind of skill you engage in, your phone number, your contact address, then a shortee, somebody that you know from that place. If those informations are imputed in that database, all what we do is that any company going there, it is very easy for you to just go into that website to go and check at the people, or maybe those who are in that particular community who you feel have those needed. It also helps in need assessment for you to know what a particular people need at a particular time. That is another wrong way of empowerment. If you empower people with what they don't need at that time, it will be a wasted effort at the end of the day. So it will not be business as usual. The peculiarities of every of our Ijaw communities and whatever they do must be taken into consideration.
Oh, you were legal advisor of the RIC Worldwide, and when people hear that, I'm looking to run for the National Secretary of IYC, they'd want to immediately backtrack, piggyback on some of the things that you probably had done, but they will also be looking out for you to tell them, remind them these things you did then as legal advisor, the changes you helped bring to council. Maybe this on this premise, they're likely to say, okay, we can support you.
Yeah, we did a lot of things as at the time. In fact, a lot of people do not know who legal advisor of IYC was until I came on board. Yes, I can state it boldly here. Legal advisor was one office that was very salient in council, because it's like the second to the least office in the organizational chart of council. And when we came on board, we take up issues. IYC cut across the entire Niger Delta. I think I came up with people, with lawyers who are in the various states where Ijaw people are, handling Ijaw matters. We had a lot of cases in court. As at that time too, we had a case about another faction who was claiming leadership. We did a lot of bail application for our youth. Although one thing that we were supposed to engage in, which I'm very sure that the elders have started, was to take the federal government to court. I think we're about starting that process before our tenure rounded up. Because of the fact that Bayelsa is the least marginalized, I think the matter is before the Federal High Court for the creation of more local governments in Bayelsa. And I can assure you and assure your people that as a lawyer, in collaboration with NEC, the 10th NEC, when we come on board, we are going to take over that matter. Those are some areas where the IYC is going to take over the responsibility of that matter. In line with also in collaboration with the advice of the legal advisor that we emerge as at the time, and NEC, because those are key areas that we also started. We started the process at that time when I was legal advisor. So you can count them, number of boys, the job people who were languishing in prisons, who we bring up, we maybe went to either one state high court or federal high court to seek for bail applications, bring them out. And we also, I think Ibiwari to us at the time, Ibiwari was also languishing, and we know a lot of things we did, a lot of letters we wrote. And one of the things that we did was there was a case in Shell as at the time, where there were some job people they wanted to relieve of their jobs in Shell. I think in NAPIMS or thereabouts. The office of the legal advisor took up that matter. I think we petitioned the NSA, we petitioned the IG, we petitioned the presidency, the Ministry of Petroleum as at the time, and those jobs were secured because they wanted to step like 4 or 5 job people. They wanted to relieve them, you understand, so that they can step up some expatriates to fill up those spaces. And we fought vehemently against that, and were able to get victory against them.
Okay, Dr. Igbeta, what if, just what if again, what if the governor picks a consensus candidate? What if?
No, well,
and it's not you, maybe.
No problem. All what I have been asked by people, do you want to be a consensus candidate in this election? I don't like consensus. I don't like being a sole candidate. I like being when I contested as legal advisor, we were 5 persons. I was the least. Then I was just how many years at the bar. Today I'm 15 years at the bar. Then I was very young. I was the least. I had people who are 20, 17 years at the bars at the time that contested with me. And by God's grace, I pulled the highest vote in the history of a nation, 73 votes out of the 110 delegates.
Did you have help from like godfathers?
No, I never had.
Okay.
I think the only person that helped me with my campaign as at the time were some stakeholders. Then my brother and friend, Alfred Kenepado, I must give him the credit. He was contesting Secretary General at that time. So I was attached to his campaigning processes. So most of his delegates, I was also seeing them. So he played also a pivotal role as an elder brother for me.
Well, you did mention that you're affiliated with the Bayelsa West, even more than your Bayelsa East.
Yes, because I am from the Bayelsa East. I have a very cordial relationship with them.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people do not understand that IYC goes beyond Bayelsa. Bayelsa is just 30 delegates. We have 117 delegates. We have the Western Zone, we have the Eastern Zone, starting from Akwa Ibom, the Ibani people. We have the Western Zone, the Ondo, Edo. We have the Abuja chapter, we have the Lagos chapter. So the delegate cut across almost all the zones and chapters. So it is a very rigorous process. So before you are contesting a national office, you know that the tax before you is huge,
yeah.
And it's Eucalian. So you must devote your time. You understand? So I don't like consensus candidacy. And even when I am very close to this guy. In fact, nobody that is contesting with me in this election that will say they've contributed more to this government than me. I can state it boldly anyway.
Okay.
People lose my antecedent with this government. And even when I was asked that, do you want to be a I said I don't want. All I need is for everybody to go into the field and everybody to be given a level playing ground. Anybody that wins is a win-win for the government.
Okay.
It's a win-win for the government.
The IYC is established as a pressure group. 1998, yes. I believe.
Yes.
Now, a pressure group, but the governor is one who says, this candidate can go. This candidate, please step down for this candidate.
No, the governor. Let me correct that impression.
Good.
The governor is not the one that decides who goes for where and what in IYC.
Step down.
No.
He told you to step down in 2020.
That is what I'm saying. He is not the one that asked me to step down. My stakeholders went to him in order to form a truce, in order to arrive as a truce, to say, well, we have two of our sons that is contesting. Can you please help us talk to these our sons and also other people from other areas, other local governments? As a father of the state, can you please talk to them so that we can have some level of tolerance in the contest? You know, you must also agree with me that IYC is one of the most, in fact, is the most formidable youth organization we have in the whole of the Niger Delta. So the risk of having possible crisis during the electioneering process is very high. So that is why most of the time stakeholders come together to see how they can harmonize interests. So if you don't agree, then if it's just a very jovial and a very coordinated way of pleading or playing with us to say, see, at this time, why don't you people come together and see how you can amend your interests and your aspirations to see how this person can go. But other people also to tell you that the governor is not the one that decides.
So he's basically resolving a
crisis, trying to preempt it. Now, those who do not step down as at the time, those who do not heed to the governor's admonition, went into the election. Yes, they went into the elections. And the person I stepped down for won with just a very slim margin, I think 7 votes. So out of the 100, over 100 delegates.
Welcome to Globe in View on Naija Live TV, reaching you from Bielsa's capital city, Yenagoa. My name is Babi Mparu. With the headlines. Bielsa gas turbines begin test run across Yenagoa, says Diri. Serap urges INEC to probe alleged 800 billion naira APC campaign funds. Kim Jong-un urges stronger border forces against South Korea threats. A quick reminder for our viewers and partners that Naija Live TV is officially open for business. If you are looking to boost your brand through paid adverts or sponsorships, we are ready to partner with you. You can contact us on our studio line on 081 293 40000. For physical consultations, visit our head office at number 122 Mbiama Yonagwa Road, Amarata Yonagwa, Bielsa State. And don't forget to stay connected. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and X at Naija Live TV, or visit our website at www.naijalivetv.com. Details of the news shortly. Glad you're still with us. Bielsa State Governor Senator Doye Diri has recounted the journey to the state's gas-powered electricity project, revealing that the death of Access Bank Chief Executive Officer Dr. Herbert Wigwe in 2024 almost derailed the initiative. Governor Diri disclosed this on Sunday at the Feast Day Festival, Cultural Fiesta of St. Matthias Catholic Church, Amarata Yenagoa. In a statement by his Chief Press Secretary, Daniel Alabra, the governor said the gas turbines commissioned by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on April 10th was currently undergoing test run in parts of Yenagoa and would soon extend to other areas. Diri described the development as a major breakthrough in his administration's drive to provide 24-hour electricity across the state. He explained that power supply had already reached the Opolo axis and was being extended towards the NDDC state headquarters, with Panchia and adjoining areas expected to benefit within the days. The governor stated that the newly installed turbines were electronically controlled, and capable of supplying uninterrupted electricity to homes. Recounting the project's origin, Diri said the discussions had initially begun with the late Herbert Wigwe and Access Bank during his first term in office, but the process stalled following Wigwe's death in a plane crash before the signing of a memorandum of understanding. He further revealed that although a proposal was later made to deploy a ship-mounted power plant to Yanagar, he insisted on a land-based gas-powered solution that would utilize Bayelsa's natural gas resources. Jiri, however, acknowledged challenges encountered during the test run phase, attributing them to aging transmission lines belonging to the Port Harcourt Electricity Distribution Company. According to him, faulty and broken cables caused disruptions whenever electricity was transmitted from the new plant, prompting engineers to begin upgrades on the transmission infrastructure. The governor assured residents that stable electricity was now guaranteed, stressing that his administration had never politicized the development of the state. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has called on the Independent National Electoral Commission to investigate allegations that governors elected on the platform of the All Progressives Congress diverted about 800 billion naira for political and campaign purposes. In a letter dated May 16, 2026, and signed by its Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadare, Serap urged INEC to conduct what it described as a prompt, thorough, impartial, transparent, and effective investigation into the allegations. The organization said the claims raised serious concerns about political finance transparency and electoral integrity. Serap also called the electoral body to compel full disclosure from APC governors and the party regarding alleged contributions to any campaign fund, including details of donors and the lawful sources of the funds. The group further urged INEC to work with anti-corruption and law enforcement agencies to ensure sanctions where violations are established, including prosecution, fines, and forfeiture of unlawful contributions. Fresh tension is brewing in Nigeria's downstream petroleum sector following a lawsuit filed by Dangote Petroleum Refinery seeking to mollify fuel import permits issued or renewed by the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority to the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and petroleum marketers. The refinery argued that the approvals violate an earlier court order directing all parties to maintain the status quo. The latest legal action comes nearly 1 year after Dangote Refinery withdrew a similar suit challenging fuel importers' approvals granted by NNPC and some fuel traders. However, the Depot and Petroleum Products Marketers Association of Nigeria has defended the continued issuance of import licenses by the NMDPRA, maintained that fuel importation remains critical to Nigeria's electricity and energy security. A child rights advocacy group, Campaign Against Pedophilia Africa, is set to convene a public awareness forum in Lagos aimed at preventing sexual violence among and against minors and strengthening child protection systems. The program is scheduled for May 22, 2026 at Effortsville Academy in Iyana, Ejibo. Organizers said the forum forms part of broader efforts to expand public education on abuse prevention and improve child safeguarding awareness in schools and communities. Executive Director of CAPA, Dr. Wole Olarinde, said the initiative was designed to address rising incidents of sexual abuse against minors through structured education and public outreach. Away from Nigeria to foreign scene. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has announced plans to strengthen frontline military units along the border with South Korea as part of efforts to deter war. According to North Korea's state media, KCNA, Kim made the remarks during a meeting with commanders of divisions and brigades across the army. He said boosting military strength along the border would help transform the area into what he described as an impregnable fortress. Kim also called for adjustments to the military training systems and expansion of practical drills to reflect changes in modern warfare and operational strategies. The North Korean leader further stressed the need for continued vigilance against what he described as the country's arch enemy, referring to South Korea. North and South Korea remain technically at war since their 1950 to 1953 conflict ended with an armistice rather than a formal peace agreement. United States Navy said 4 crew members involved in a mid-air collision between 2 military jets during an air show near Mountain Home Air Force Base in Idaho have ejected safely. A spokesperson for Naval Air Forces, U.S. Pacific Fleet Commander Amiela Umayam, said the 2 EA-18G roller jets collided about 2 miles from the base during the 2-day Gunpowder Skies air show. The Navy confirmed that all 4 crew members safely ejected from the aircraft. Authorities said the incident is under investigation, while a section of the State Highway 167 near the crash site will remain closed for several days as investigations continue. And that concludes the news on Naija Live TV. You have been watching Globe in View. My name is Bobby Mparu. Thank you for watching.
Me that was the leading candidate at the time also went into the race, what would have happened? Because I was sure of about more than half of the delegates at the time. So these are the issues. So the governor do not decide. The governor only come to see how he can manage a crisis-prone area, because he is the governor general of the nation.
Let's have you state it clearly. A lawyer you are. A doctorate. You have a doctorate in law. Let's have you state it clearly that you do not believe in the governor's interference in matters of the IYC, electoral matters of the IYC. Let's have you state that, because, well, the IYC is a pressure group now.
No, the governor do not intervene.
So I do not believe in inter-party governor.
No, I do not believe. The governor does not. The governor does not interfere. I can tell you there are a lot of crises where the governor will only advise and call parties. You can see anytime any of these groups went for, or maybe go and pay him a courtesy call, you can see his word of advice. Look at the electoral committee went there. You can see the charge he gave to them. Give everybody a level playing ground and make sure that the election is fair, credible, and just for everybody. And that has been the governor's charge.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's conclude with a final question. Let's have you give Bayelson a word of advice. I mean, you are a man with capacity. We've heard that you've served as a 2-time Secretary General, Center for Youth Development, SA, NDDC, so many. Your list goes on and on. So let's have you talk to Bayelson with a final advice on governance, loyalty.
My advice to Bayelsa is that we are going into another electioneering season, and that we must understand that our tomorrow is bigger than today. First, no matter the ambition you have, you must remain alive before you can be able to pursue that dream or that goal. By remaining alive, it entails you trying to be peaceful and trying not to give yourself as a political thug as somebody who imbibes in violence, political violence, just because of the fact that you are supporting a particular candidate or you are in the train of a particular political boss, I will charge Bayelsa you to be peaceful, to be loving, and to always remain united. That is my major charge, because a lot of us, like I tell people, is because of our lack of unity that there is a lot of infiltration. I remember what my late boss said, of blessed memory. He said something very striking before he died. He said, you must be ready as youth to be united to push us out who are fading out, or else we will not leave the scene for you. He said, if you are not united as youth and push us out intentionally, we will not leave the scene for you. Nobody is willing to leave the scene. But if people are united, people can push us out. So that is my charge to everybody. Well, to all the job people, like I've always said, everybody contesting this IYC election with me are credible, qualified. We are all the job people first before we have different aspirations. So all what I'm pleading with everybody is to play by the rules, to love ourselves, that even after the elections, we can always see together, dying together as brothers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Barrister Ibakuro Igbeta, PhD, for sharing your thoughts and expertise on this topic. Really do appreciate you. My name is Babi Umparu, and I've been joined by
Henry Armifula here.
This has been Chats with Naija Live TV. Thank you for watching.
Well, 2027 election is only a few months away. So there's been a lot of politicking, there's been the endorsements, there's been the defections. The political conversation has also been very hot this period. And well, we're looking to have this conversation especially around Bayelsa, and specifically in Southern Ijaw constituency too. And, so we thank you plenty for staying with us on this episode of Chat with Naija Live TV. My name is Henry Armifula, and on this episode we have someone who is an aspirant, someone who's been a member of the APC before now, and well, recently resigned from the APC. So we're joined this episode by the comrade Sidney Linus. It's good to have you. A very good day to you and welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Henry. Good day to you as well. Thank you.
Welcome again to Naija Live TV and to this episode of the program.
Thank you very much. You have such a nice place here, and I will say everyone should come here for their interviews and any program.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's jump right in. Southern Ijaw constituency 2. That's where you hail from, and exactly why are you seeking to be a representative of that particular area, and how would you describe development in Southern Ijaw constituency 2? Let's start with just 1999 to 2026. That's the start of the Fourth Republic, right? Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Henry, I want to appreciate you for this very germane question, because the Southern Ijaw constituency 2, for sake of demography description, we have two unique clans, two unique people. You know, we have the Oproma people and the Tarakri people. Though politically it is divided into two wards, that is the Oproma Ward 1 and the Oproma Ward 2. Now, you asked why I am coming in for this political exercise. It's the same question, just like why do you come into politics? You know, growing up as a young person, as a little child, growing up, from my background and also from what I've been exposed to over time, I've seen that our people, especially in the Naija Delta region at large, we are faced with numerous immense challenges. And the aim of politics is to bring development to your people, how best can you bring in development to your people, to the child, to the mother, to the adult, and everyone that makes up the constituency. So my aim of coming into politics is to see how best I can attract development to my people. In this case, through legislative service. So it's all about the people. So yeah,
what are some of those things you think you would like to do? Those problems, particularly, you know that Southern Niger constituency too are being rocked by, that you would like to help solve.
Well, in fact, every sector of human endeavor, there are problems. Even the first world countries, second world countries, third world countries, as they are classified, all have several challenges. And what is the essence of man is to solve problems. So to me, as an aspirant coming in to represent the people of the Southern Niger constituency too, specifically in the legislative arm of government, is basically to bring in development and solve the problems in the educational sector, in the health sector, in the agricultural sector, in the business and enterprise sector, in every aspect of life, infrastructural sector, and every aspect of life that can make my people, because the essence of governance and the essence of the government in the Nigerian constitution is simply for the welfare and security of the people. So if you cannot deliver welfare and security to the people, then the purpose has been eluded. So I am looking at these areas because I've observed that as a healthcare professional, I'm a nurse by profession, and meanwhile, Happy Nurses Day to all nurses internationally, because yesterday was our day. So I have observed that our primary healthcare system within the constituency, and because of course when you get into the House of Assembly, you're not going there just for your people. You're also going there to serve the entire Bayelsa state, and sometimes even Nigeria at large, because there are these are the core aspects of service to the people. So I am looking at these areas, using these tools, these legislative tools, to bring in development to my people. If there are no health facilities that are working, because let's for instance the health sector, we have what we call the B-Mong and the C-Mong facilities. B-Mong facilities are classified in the primary health sector system, while the C-Mong are supposed to be secondary health sector system. You know, until recently that we are having a referral system, thanks to His Excellency Governor Doyebiri for providing the Opuruma Referral Hospital, and also the infrastructure, the road, that bridge has really bridged a lot of gaps. So most of our women will not be dying from simple conditions like PPH, that is a postpartum hemorrhage that occurs sometimes because of poor handling of pregnancy and delivery system. So what am I here to do? Let me see that the basic healthcare needs of our people, because definitely I will be a member of the House Committee on Health, or I'll maybe, if God willing, I may even be the chairman of the House Committee on Health, and I'll be able to drive these policies, these laws that will ensure that our system works.
Well, typically, as someone who's a nurse, one would wonder exactly why a nurse would be going into politics. But then again, of course, nurses are those who care, who nurture, right? Yeah, that's a different, another way to call the nurse. You nurture, you take care of people. So typically, you're here to take care of the needs of the constituency.
Exactly.
So, yeah, so I mean, that makes sense, and bias at large, that makes sense a lot. But then, as a nurse and also one who is into the healthcare system, you'd also know that one of the problems we have in our primary healthcare system, like you had mentioned, is the fact that there are barely people at the health centers. If you check, you'd probably find that at best 2-3 communities you must find one health center, in Bayelsa State, and also in your constituency, right? Well, there's a problem of lack of practitioners being present. There are only a few health care facilities, primary health care facilities that are actually operational. I mean, that's not having skeletal operations, properly operational. You're going to the assembly. What exactly are you going to do? Is this by way of bill, by way of motion? I particularly don't quite think motions do anything, but I think bills could actually help the day in many cases. But what are you doing particularly to ensure that staffers who are employed go to work? Or those who, I mean, if there are places where staffers are not quite employed, or where you want to use ad hoc staff, I mean, typically, what are you going to do to ensure that there are much more staffers who are working?
Okay, I already have drafted a motion because this problem is to be solved by motion. And motions help. Bills, even a law, if there is no willpower, political willpower, nothing happens. But the motions, it is a motion of public importance, urgent public importance, that can solve this issue of staffing and also the attitude of staff to work. Now in Bayelsa State, we have 105 wards. I developed a motion called Project 105, that is the 105 wards, that we must have adequate primary health system, working systems in each of the 5 wards, so that nobody would rush to FMC or NGTH for primary health care needs. Now, our system is that for now we do not have sufficient manpower. Good thing that the primary health care board recently advertised for intake of healthcare practitioners, healthcare workers, including nurses. I believe that they will take at least 800 nurses, because we need, in fact, in every community, in my community, we have, in our Yama community, we have a primary health care center, we have 2 cottage hospitals that are not operational, but the primary health care center is operational, but not 100% up to its ability. The functionality is not 100%. There's no primary health care facility that we can say is 100%. So these are the areas we need to liaise with the commissioner and the Ministry of Health to push up a motion and say that, please, government, we have our people dying. Governor, we have our people dying because of little preventable diseases. Can we load our primary health system with enough nurses, with enough doctors, with enough CHUs, with enough cleaners and secretaries and whichever persons that are supposed to be working there, because there is a minimum standard prescribed by the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, that these are the number of staff that are supposed to be there. So can we abide by this? Can we work with this and ensure that our people have access to, because primary health care definition is just access to health, affordable health, that are close to the people. So I will raise a motion specifically for this purpose, that and call on the attention of the executive arm of government to ensure that we employ enough manpower based on need, so that we will not even be rushing to the referral hospital at Okoroma, so that the people that want to deliver, let them deliver at Ayama or at Ludo or at Bula Gobri, that is even landlocked, instead of coming down. Then the attitude to work, if there is a motion like that, that means I'm a representative of the people, because God willing I am voted in. So I have to be always there with the people. I'm not a Minagwa the politician that will just stay here and be not even interact with the people. So I will go there to the health centers and follow up.
Currently in River State, are you going to quit that for politics?
No, that is a private, non-governmental engagement. Okay. Of course, I've discussed with my employers that I am going in for this service, and God willing, I am voted into power. My workplace have already given me that leverage that okay, when you are voted into power, this is what we are going to do. This is service. That is service, depending on the conditions of service of the employer. Yeah. So it does not affect public or whatever area. So I interact with the people. I see that a pregnant woman, if I am there, so oversight, having that oversight function, that is where oversight comes in. So a motion to ensure that nurses get there, then oversight to ensure that the nurses are there working, or the doctors are there working.
Affecting staff morale and some of these staffers, from going to the primary health care centers and to administer their services is, like you mentioned, working conditions, not enough remuneration, even where they stay in these constituencies is a problem. Some of the houses are poor. Sometimes they don't even have a house to stay, because of course, the popularity and around by see that's not necessarily Yanagua housing deficit. Yeah, that's one thing that maybe you'd like to.
All these things will be handled by Project 105 motion that's already in the bakery. It's already ready to be eaten. So immediately I'm voted into power, this Project 105 motion that will be raised will take care of the housing issue, because staff, if you send me to Lobia or to Okodia Zarama in a local government area, at least I should have a little house that I can lay my head and take care of, because there's what we call residential midwives. These are health workers that stay in around the facility, so that midnight anytime, so far there's a pregnant woman or an emergency, they take care of them immediately, give them that succor, that immediate health attention before moving them. I'm just feeling that we are focusing on the health sector, which we have mentioned primary health sector. Exactly, and I love it that you have good interest in the primary health sector, because that is also
that's your interest.
That's my heart. That's what needs my heart.
That's what I'm here.
Yes, I'm here
in the local level.
Yes,
right? You have mentioned that Dewey has taken road there. Yes. There is a referral hospital in Oporo. But then there are problems with primary health care centers, and so we're expanding.
Yeah, exactly. So the referral system, the referral hospital, is to manage only cases that cannot be handled by the primary health centers. And also another thing is not just the state government. The local government also have something to do, because you have to augment the efforts of the state governor or the state government. Let me put it that way, because while the staff do not have accommodation, the local government chairman can say, okay, I want to build per community 3-bedroom flats for nurses and doctors and other children that will be there to at least have a place to lay their head and be coming to work and take care of our people. And also electricity is a problem. I have a model called the PPE. The PPE is not the personal protective equipment that we know, but personnel, power, and equipment. That is it. I'm just revealing. I hope my competitors will not come and steal my idea.
Well, even if they do steal your idea and they use it, is it not to the benefit of the?
No, the thing about idea is that he who bears the idea knows how best to run with it. Okay. That's why even the Bible says, write it down and run with this vision. So this PPE idea is about personnel. When we treat the personnel issue, what about power? Now we have solar power system. I will go to the NDDC as health committee member or chairman on health in the state and tell them that please, our healthcare centers need an intervention, because it's an interventionist agency or commission. Our people, please, I need at least, even if it's 5 kilowatt or 10 kilowatt power grid in each of the health centers across this thing. Doing that when there is power, people will even be going there more. Because when our women go, now touch them, they carry deliver also. How do we need to even go there? Make a local go die for them, because pregnancy and delivery is like a life and death experience. So everybody is very careful. They rather want to go to Naija than come to our primary health centers, because they feel that there are no sufficient manpower to handle their cases. Okay, well, so we will work on those areas through oversight and motions.
Okay, that's good to know.
And strengthening things where necessary.
Okay, that's good to know now. But prevention, they say, is better than cure.
Always.
Right? And so there is, I'm a journalist, so I travel the creeks, hinterlands. I know that there is this culture of drinking from the river, and we call it our water now. You know, do us anything.
I mean, betting on the kill African man.
Well, that's a rather cliche notion, but this is one that I like to think is much more relevant. Something that we would often do. I mean, was it just 3 months ago? I saw people who would drink from the water, the river water. They say the flow.
I saw it today in my community.
They say the flow, and typically they scoop and they drink.
Yes. And someone else is defecating
somewhere. And I asked the question to someone who is a health professional sometime. When they say water the flow, it means say cholera the flow come out too. I mean, get possible say you go fetch cholera drink. So there is this notion, first of sensitization, second of how are you going to ensure through these motions that we have some of the facilities we need, water, low cost water, but water we can drink, portable drinking water is made available for those persons who are in Southern Ijaw constituency too? How would we ensure this? Remember that most times the focus is on Yenagoa. Yenagoa. Even when the governor says he's going to go to water after he does the power supply issue in Yenagoa, in Yenagoa, it's still in Yenagoa, not in Southern Ijaw. So in Southern Ijaw constituency too, what are the plans? Yeah.
Okay. As a representative, you have very broad lobbying opportunities where you can liaise with even the IOCs, because in Oporoma, the headquarters of the local government, and also the headquarters of Ward 1, the people of Ward 1 that are representing, it holds oil wells. It even holds Shell, RGB is there. At least these people should be able to also contribute to our development. Apart from the provisions that will come for constituency development from the areas, at least we should be able to have sustainability. Because another thing is that if you go to each of these communities, there are spoiled water projects. Sometimes they have stolen the solar panels, sometimes they have vandalized this or that. Now, why can't we also research on this and bring up sustainable potable water, because it's part of the SDG, the SDG goals, that is the Sustainable Development Goals. I think is goal 8 or goal 3. I cannot get the exact distance. It's part of the Sustainable Development Goal, which everybody in this country and the world are getting money
all of the
from.
Sustainable Development Goals, I don't quite think of anyone that Nigeria has
achieved. So it's a work in progress. While it is a work in progress, we must also be consensually doing the right thing at the right time. How much is a borehole to be dug? If a very dark man is digging borehole for people, why can't I use at least my allowances if there is no money at all? But if there is no money, I still have access, because I'm already the healthcare professional. I have access to UNICEF, I have access to World Health Organization, I have access to Bill and Gates Foundation, I have access to CHAI and other platforms that I can lure and bring in to provide these boreholes for my people. Even if it is that one, we call it Bukobini, that they will just manually just shake it. Like in those days we used to just shake it up and down, and before you know, the water comes out.
But can that happen in Bayelsa?
Yes, it is still functional. I think there is one still working at the community, but I think the treatment, they've not treated it again for a while, so the water is otherwise.
So that cost effective.
Very cost effective. Something that can be operated by even a 10-year-old child.
It's manual.
It's manual.
You could just
you don't need a solar panel that will be stolen. You don't need a borehole generator that people. Even if it will need a borehole, then you just set up. Just 2 million naira can set up a good borehole for at least the people around 100 meters
solar
of
powered.
that. No, even if it's not solar powered, even if you get a generator, how much is the generator that will pump that in? Then you make it their project. Let them see the project as their project, not your project.
And there are several
so that they will now even say, okay, water don't finish, let us contribute. But I can say, sorry for speaking in joke.
No,
this is my constituency. So
you can.
But I can say 100 naira to that. Get 2 liters of fuel, and that's what I can be pump there. And most of them will be willing. In my community in Ayama Ejo, before now we were contributing 100 naira. I think as at 2010, 2012, we were contributing 100 naira per flat to power our community generator so that we can have light. So why can't such things be? Let the people own the project. Let the people work with the project and see how they can also protect. Because so far they own that project, they protect it. You don't just hand it over to one. At least there are chiefs in each of the compounds. There are opinion leaders. Say, and they carry this thing give on now, make on own and title. If this thing is spoiled now, if it's spoiled now, I'm going to repair them. If the burden of repair is on them, you place it on their mind like that, and they will be able to also see how they can protect and maintain it. Because even the thieves that will spoil those things are within the community now.
Alrighty. There are many persons who would ask you this question. Mayhaps a tough question, but all the same, they ask you this question. You've been in the constituency, you're a stakeholder, you're one who's knowledgeable, and all of a sudden you're deciding to run for office, deciding to run for an assembly seat to represent the Southern Ijaw constituency too. They've had a representative all this while. They've had one particular representative for 15 years or more. I mean, that's like since 2011 up until now. They have one particular representative who's done 4 tenures,
Yeah.
and all of these things you've mentioned are lagging, are not seen in the constituency. Did you at any time try to reach out to your representative, who's currently representing you now, by the way?
Yeah.
At any point, did you reach out to him with these ideas to say, Honorable, this is important, we should do this? And what was the response you got?
Okay, like I think just recently, my leader, because he's still my leader, whether I'm no longer in the same party platform.
We'll talk about your
yes. Right, Honorable, everyone has his or her own strengths and weaknesses. For me as a person, I have learned the ropes over the years, over his years of representation, and I'll consolidate on the areas of his strength, and also ensure that the areas of weaknesses, which he will even be the one to say, this area are not to do well, because there's nobody that is perfect. So this area are not to do well, we'll try and handle it like that. And also personally, I've been engaging with him. The recent one is the bill that was passed for resident doctors to be trained on scholarship. I now had a discussion with, I said, why don't we also include nurses and pharmacists? That would be also
a bill for resident doctors
to be trained on scholarship. Yes, yes. I think it was last year that it was passed. So he said,
resident doctors native to Southern Naija constituency.
No, not native. It's Bayelsa State. You know, as a representative, we are making laws for the entire state.
No,
yes, a bill. So that was done, and after I approached him, he mentioned, don't worry, this bill will be easy way you come out to. So let us at least allow it to be implemented. We can always repeal and make adjustments. So like I already have that background of what he has been doing.
If he's your leader, what are the areas he really accomplished other than this bill you mentioned that you're happy for 15 years? What are the things that Obolobobo did that you're very, very comfortable with, and you can say, yeah, my leader, you tried?
I would not be the one to say his accolades.
I mean, you called your leader, that's why.
Yes, he's my leader. I wouldn't want to
know what you're doing
because I know a lot that he has done, the walkways that he has influenced, even the Purma Bridge that we just commissioned, and German Purma Bridge that was commissioned, the referral hospitals. Those things don't just come on their own now. People, there is always lobbying. There's always a lobbying person there. So if you had been following him, you can see that you always go to the sites and oversight. Those are oversight functions. And you're going to check the progress of the work and because he has interest, because he has lobbied this development to these areas. So definitely he has done his own part. And yes, there may be little areas that he must have not done very much well, but there is always room for improvement. That's why we that have learned the ropes are to take over and improve on those areas, consolidate on the places that he has done so well, and now serve the people better. That is the essence of leadership.
Alrighty. Your resignation from the All Progressives Congress, on what premise? Why exactly do you leave from the All Progressives Congress? A party that many persons will say is gaining popularity, especially with the miracle governor defecting to the APC. Well, that's where our opinions on some persons that party is popular. But you're leaving the party at a time when it is most popular in Bayelsa, if that's the way to use it.
Well, in life, there comes a time where sometimes the things you see that are the best to do, or the platforms you see that are the best to stand on, becomes the platform that you have to leave to go to a more challenging platform to achieve that goal for the people. Now, while I left the APC, I've been there for over 8 years. I've served the party. I've served the party on various capacities. I was campaigning is it welfare? Yeah, welfare or no, not welfare. I was part of the campaign team for Andy Ziadna when he was running for the State House Assembly under the APC. I was one of the executives there. I cannot even recall the portfolio properly, but I will definitely get it.
That's fine.
Then just the last elections, I worked as the party ward agent. So I was the one that was collating the results with the INEC people alongside the PDP person who was one of the major persons that was working. So, and I also was the election committee chairman of the Ward 2, Constituency 2, Ward 2. But, at this juncture, I contested, I aspired for this position in 2023 elections. In 2022, a committee was set up and I appeared before the committee, and unfortunately the party leader said, okay, let us hand it over to Chief Andy Ziadna, who defected us at that time from the PDP to the APC and was given the ticket. And he said, okay, let us run with it. And I was given that assurance that when the next time of election comes up, that definitely will be carried along and will be considered for this position. And these meetings were done at Newcastle Hotel, Liberty Hotel. These are popular hotels in the state. And also my leaders called and said, don't worry, we are still young. The next time we'll definitely get it and the rest. So fast forward to 2026 here, I also expressed my interest to run for the position. And same leaders are still telling me that not all of them, because at least I had some level of votes from the committee to be part of the 3 persons that the governor had instructed the party to pick. I wasn't part of the 3 persons that was picked. Out of the 3, someone that was promised that, okay, you will be given the opportunity to push this thing the next time, wasn't even picked. Not that I'm not qualified. Yes, some of the leaders even confided in me that, see, I know that we are the best fit for this project, but you know, because of politics, the dynamics of politics and this and that, that's why I have that confidence that any party I run from definitely will make success and will take the victory.
You left the APC because you were not quite picked.
I was not considered because...
And you were one of the 3 persons.
I wasn't even considered as part of the 3 persons.
So they had this screening committee
because
you out?
Yes. Would I say screen out? I would say I wasn't considered, not screened out, because if you say screen out, it means you're
part of the screening.
Yes, I appeared for the screening. If you say screened out, it means you are disqualified. But I wasn't screened out, I was dropped and other persons were picked. Even when some of the committee members said,
were you part of the screening?
Yes, we're 18 of
aspirants.
Yeah, but it's the committee that, yes, it was the committee that, but I wasn't an aspirant because until you buy form, that's when you become a legitimate aspirant. Okay. So the governor in his wisdom had arranged a committee to at least look at us, and so personal leadership for some interest came in and I wasn't picked. That notwithstanding, as a leader, if you are determined to do something, not in desperation, such occurrences only boosts you and make you see more opportunities. That, okay, yes, this is a hurdle that have come. It's just like a hurdle race. If you are in politics and you're not expecting any hurdle to come your way, it means you're not ready to deliver for your people, because even the delivery, even the representation is a hurdle race. You have to solve problems. So when I wasn't quite picked among the 3, I felt that it is necessary that maybe I seek another platform to run with the support of my leaders, because in this race that I'm still running, my leaders still are behind me. Yes, even the governor is behind me. Yes.
How are you certain so? Are they going to support you against what the APC wants?
The APC, what the APC wants, the governor is not in charge of local selections. Okay, so
well, he's the leader of the party.
Yes, he's the leader of the party. It doesn't necessarily need to
not favor the consensus. You guys practically did consensus.
No, there's no consensus yet. They are still in the process of consensus.
They've not picked anybody yet.
Nobody has been picked.
The committee is not through with its work for Southern Naija constituency too.
No, there's a different. I think the committee stuff was stepped down and allowed other processes to take place.
So will there be a direct primary for that?
No, that is not my party, so I cannot.
You had that's the party you just left.
Yeah, for now I cannot tell you what is invoked, because definitely the party have to choose the way. Because if every other person resigns or withdraws their interest, definitely it becomes consensus. But if, for instance, they go into there's a problem there, and maybe one or two other persons do not want to listen, definitely they will go into direct primaries where every party member will register party member.
Why you did not quite want to go into direct primaries?
No, not because
there could not be. There was not a consensus for you to be
not to even be part of the 3 persons, because some of the reasons were like, I still have more years. And youth, which means the youth do not have any say or any stake in the leadership or the leadership that was.
Well, you understand leadership now, right?
Of course, I do. So
as a youth now, they say just wait for your leaders to go. It will be your turn.
Which means you are not confident that what I have learned from you over the years and the Constitution of Nigeria allows me to run, and you even gave me a promise that next time it will be yours.
You're running from you're learning from somebody, right?
Yes, the people I am learning from is not the Bolobizon. He's going to House of Reps. He has given me the platform to come in. He has given me the platform to come in and represent our people. He has already trained me enough. He said, okay, this man is now fit. Let me move for this younger generation. That is the essence of him living. If not, it is the tenure. There's no tenure system in the House of Assembly. You would have seen states of 5th or 6th or 7th or 8th tenure. But he has felt that maybe I have trained some people, the youth, to take over, because he himself was in his 30s when he came into power. The first person by Stafford Ngolo in the old right on Stafford Ngolo in the old River State. He was in his 20s, late 20s, and early 30s when he was representing the constituency, and also Target Segibo. He was 26 years, going to 27 years when he represented the constituency out of Hawkins Calabar. He was also in his 30s and 20s to represent. So why is it different now that something has there is a chronological system of allowing the youth to read in that space? Why is it that it is this period that the youths of today are supposed to benefit from this system, that the goalpost is being shifted to over 40s and over 60s and 70s? It becomes a system that will not favor the youth, and the youth, mind you, makes up more than 60% of even the party structure, the party system, and also the population of the country. And they are in touch with the people. And mind you, all the 3 persons that were picked from all the 4 constituencies in the state, nobody is there that is less than 35 years of age. They picked above 35 years. It means there is no hope for the youth in this system, not just Satanism, but Bayelsa State system of selection. It means that you have to be 80 years before you can run for House of Assembly, which we as youth...
that's probably an exaggeration.
No, it's we are...
But then you need old people.
Yeah, I'm just trying to give a figure of speech that you have to be metaphorical, hyperbolical expression that you have to be 80 years old, you have to be with walking stick. You have to be frail and old before you can get to the state assembly, or you have to be not in touch with the people again before you can now go into representation, which is what we the youths, because we have been told even in our primary nursery school rhymes that children, listen to your parents. You are the leaders of tomorrow. That tomorrow they were talking about yesterday is today. So now when the today has come that you promised me, you are not telling me that you are shifting the goalpost again to make my tomorrow another day again. No, it's quite that's why I said it's not out of desperation, but it is. I'm acting based on the stakeholders, because also mind you that when these challenges come up, the stakeholders are not looking at you to just rest on your ass. They are also expecting you to take drastic efforts if you are deliberate about representing the people. If there's no APC platform for you after 8 years of service to the party, why can't you see the constitution allows you to represent the constituency from any other platform?
So now you resigned from the All Progressives Congress?
Yes, I resigned from
the... joined what party?
I've joined the party, but I will not make it public for now. For sake of technicalities, I'll call it like that. You are not a politician, so you will not understand.
But I mean, this is a rather unconventional kind of politics. I know that. I mean, even let's deviate now from the APC. In the ADC, we had the factions to the NDC.
Yes.
But what political party are you running under?
I belong to a political party.
The people ought to know. So
they will definitely know.
It means that if you say I'm a member of the AA, of the AMP, or whatever names there is, it just you put that in the consciousness of people, and so when you get to that time, for them to do the thumbprint, it will not be hard for them.
No,
if you tell them I'm an umbrella man, I mean, if you don't tell them you're an umbrella man and get to that, I don't know this person. Sometimes most persons don't know you.
Yeah,
not everybody in your constituency.
No, everybody knows me.
In your constituency too.
Everybody knows me. There's nobody that don't know Sikmi Linus in constituency 2 Silga, both in the Puma clan and in the Taraki clan, both in Ward 1 and Ward 2. There's nobody.
That is a very, very bold declaration.
Yes, there's nobody that doesn't know Sikmi Linus.
We fact check around here.
Yes, please fast check me. Go and fact check.
In all of the Southern Ijaw
constituency 2, go and ask anyone that is competent to be able to express what I have learned. So, and even a child that you said to be a leader of tomorrow, if you don't give them the platform to express what they have learned, at least there should be a test now. Even in school, they give a test to a child that have learned one or two to show whether he has learned. So give me the test of the state assembly by voting me into power, and I'll be able to show to the world, show to the constituency, represent Biafrans very well, that they will get the right representation.
You're a youth. There is a number of things that you many would think you lack. You know, to run election successfully in Nigeria, you need money, a lot of money, and you may not favorably compete with some of those who are running in terms of money. And we know that politics is that is money dominated. You have to do mobilization, however you want to put it. That's one. Also authority. Those who are elders seem to be much more respected, and so when they say, someone who is old enough to be your father is telling you to do this, and you're saying otherwise, it feels as though, hey, you're supposed to just close your mouth and do what your father is. That's subservient thing would often do around there. What makes you think that in Southern Ijaw constituency, to whatever party you choose to run, you will be voted for over these persons who are way older than you are? You, from your explanation, you are not even close to. You're not up to 40.
No, I'm 30 years of age.
No, I'm shocked, but that's it's really kudos and commendable you are doing this.
And I expect every Bayelsan to be like me. Every Bayelsa youth.
It's absolutely commendable. This is
because if we have all of us like this, nobody will play with this.
Yeah. How do you think you're going to beat this problem we have? The money problem, my leader, this one, my leader, this leader, senior, this leader, that kind of thing. How are you going to beat all of those?
Okay, I think first off, I would love to say that the area of money is not. Money is not just the paper you see. Money is the value that you have. That's why we have what we call investors. That's why we have all investment. And investment per se is that you see that this table here can yield you something, then it will attract investors to bring in money. The value you present out there, you may have all the monies out there to run for an election and maybe 300 million, 400 million to run an election. But another person just have value, and that value can attract even the money plus influence, because money is not influence.
So you think that you have a lot of persons investing in your ambition?
I have all my constituents investing in my ambition.
Financially investing in your ambition?
Financially and otherwise, because it is this time that people will see that somebody will use his hard-earned 500 naira and pay to his polling unit and vote for Sikmi Linus and the party that.
But if you have people, especially big men, who are investing in your ambition, do you not think they would want to collect when you get back in office?
Don't you think that if they want to collect when I get back, when I get to the office, if they want to get proceeds of the
your constituency project,
maybe they want to take from my allowances, because my constituency project fund is for my constituency now.
But somehow you have control of
that would be thievery. You are stealing from the constituents, and that's not what I am coming in for. You are not going there to steal money to give to your sponsor.
So if you're telling them this, you don't think they'll pull back?
There are several ways to convince an investor. Like I mentioned, I have a link with international non-governmental bodies. When they are coming to donate, it's not companies that work these works. These are people that will be donating to my aspiration. Don't they have companies to work these works? And it is legal to have profits from the project that you'll be running.
Clearly.
Then
what you've mentioned is If there's a contract and there is a bidding for the contract, you would rather favor those who supported you?
I would favor those who voted for me. Because even the people that has voted for you have more higher stake than people that have invested. But these people that have invested in this because they see the future. Because it's it's a give and take. It's a mutual benefit. Yes, if there's let me
pose this question. It's a poser. You have a question. You have a contract to give out for a particular project, and there are those who supported you, even financially supported you, gave financial resources for you to be there, and then there are other persons who did not quite support you. They must have voted for you in some way, but then they did not quite give you any of the resources. Do you think it's morally justifiable that you would now give the contract to somebody that did not even support you financially over somebody who supported you and spent a lot of money?
Contracts are done through bidding. So if there is a bidding done and whoever merits it will take it. For instance, if because you supported me financially and in votes, and I made it there, and you have a company and you bidded for that thing and you merited it to get it, why wouldn't I give you? Why would it become favoritism? What is wrong in supporting who supported you? It's not. There's nothing wrong there because he or she has merited that contract to be given.
In some way, you don't even think of. Let me just.
It's for merits. It's not by. It's not by. Okay, this contract must be for you because you supported me. No, there's nothing like that. It's through merit. You have to merit it, bid for it. Then the area of talking about age, leave it for the older people, and then when will it be the turn of the young people to come in and also express what they have learned over the years? That is by the way. And let me also inform you. Of course, you know that there's an adage that says the child that washes his hands well, he can eat with elders. And also the Bible says that. A man that is diligent in his ways, he stands before kings and queens and not before many men. So whether you are young or old, it's not about age. It's about what you can deliver, the value you can bring to the people, representation that you can bring to the people. That matters, not about the age. The age factor does not come into play, except for people that may want to be sentimental about age factor, and those persons. Actually, I would say I feel sorry for them because they are supposed to look at value, what you can bring to the table.
Okay, let's talk some more about how you intend to convince people to vote for you and your party you've not quite revealed to the people as at this moment, over a party that has gained popularity, a party that the current representative is from that party, and the governor is from that party. He's not running,
the governor is also running in my constituency.
No, he's not. You had mentioned that the governor is
I'm the governor's candidate.
That's a bold statement. You made a lot of bold and categorical statements here today.
Because the
governor come out and say he's my candidate?
The people's candidate is the governor's candidate. The governor cannot go against the people.
And you're not a member of the APC.
I am the people's. But the
governor will tell you that the APC candidate is my candidate to support. Why do you do anti-party?
Why I say that?
Oh, you're suggesting.
No, not suggesting. I am saying it in fact. In fact, that I am the governor's candidate, not because he will go and do anti-party, but because he will allow the people to express themselves. This is democracy. The governor is someone that encourages democracy and value for the people. Thing. So if he encourages democracy, I see myself as governor's candidate. Not necessarily coming to give me money to go and run the election or to instruct people that this is the person I want you to vote for. That's why I say I am the governor's candidate, because governor is for the people and by the people and it's of the people. So if the people say Linus Ikpe is our candidate, the governor has no other choice than to say.
In that case, your opponent could still advance the same arguments. I'm the governor's candidate. I mean, you all just keep on using
then the people will not decide.
And whoever the people decide to choose.
Of course, I am confident that
really was the governor's candidate.
Yeah, the people will go for me.
That's like just using the governor's name at the end of the day because
he's our people.
Tell you, hey, I did not quite support
the governor is our leader. He's the leader of the state. He's the leader of all political parties.
He has an opinion.
Apart from
you heard from him that you are the one he's supporting.
He has mentioned that he is opening a fair contest. That's why he even mentioned that we have opposition in the state.
Did he specifically tell you that I am supporting you?
He has not said that to any other person.
Good.
He hasn't said that to any other person.
The governor has not endorsed anybody.
He hasn't endorsed, but I am saying that by way of allowing democracy to take effect,
you are more likely to be supported by the governor.
Not supported, because it is the people. He has no choice against the people. The governor is not against the people. He is for the people. So if the people say, Linus, you are our candidate, the governor has no option than to allow democratic actions to take place, exercise to take place, and for the people to enjoy the dividends of democracy to them, the benefits that will come through quality legislative representation. That is what I'm saying, that the governor is endorsing me, how do I say it, indirectly, by allowing democracy to take its effect.
Wow.
So you were talking about how would I get votes from against the ruling party. Yeah. I think this response I've already answered it in a way, because if the people are for you, I have been in opposition before. APC was opposition party until the government came in to the party. We were only at this thing. Consistently, we have been running elections and making moves. The results are there. Our results are out there. We are in touch with the people. We are in touch with the electorates that votes. So that's why I say even the money factor is not as important as the people. It's the people first. By the time the people say this is who we want, the people will. I think there's also an adage that says if someone cooks for the community, they can finish it. But if the people cook for the person, for an individual, if the community cooks for one person, he cannot finish it. So if the people now say, okay, this is the person, which they will do, this is the person we are going for. And even if it is 100 naira, they say they bring out, and they don't even need to give them money. They just need to come out and cast their votes and protect it to the end. That is just the essence of a political exercise.
We've talked about healthcare.
Yeah.
That's like a priority area.
Because I'm a health professional, and health is wealth.
Absolutely.
And wealth is the welfare.
Typically, health is very, very integral.
But every other areas are.
There are other areas, of course. The economy of your people, Naija. What do you reckon is something you have as a comparative advantage over others, and how do you intend to push it? Is it sugar cane? They would often say that Southern Niger has sugar cane. Is that sugar cane? I'm not getting that correctly anyway. I don't know. But in Southern Niger constituency too, what do you think as per plant, that you have as comparative advantage, and how are you looking to perhaps do small scale industrialization? I mean, you are not a governor, it's not an executive position, but I mean, by virtue of your position as assembly member, there are a number of things you could influence and a number of bills, motions sponsored to help the executive do all of these things.
Thank you for already seeing me as the assembly member representing the good people of Southern constituency too. I am by God's grace.
You could use by God's grace.
We are talking about economic stability in a constituency. And economic stability, trade, agriculture, they work together. And I have very beautiful bills that will be statewide bills that will institute, because for now it's somewhat they are already doing the government is already doing it from various skills and other areas that they are already doing. I am coming in to legislate on this issue, on the matter, especially for women and the youth, to ensure that they have support from the government. I believe you've watched Lions Den and the Pentagon, that people come with their business ideas, present their business ideas, and you see that, okay, this one can go, this one can fly, and they will now pick it for sponsorship. Investors pick it for sponsorship. I aim to bring in a legislator, a law that will give our youths what to do, and the influence will be from the government, so that everybody will not be focusing just on being a politician. Well, being a politician is good, but let us also have skills. From my own end, I'm looking at influence, because in the Southern Niger constituency too, we do not have any technical school that teaches our people skills. I will definitely, in my first 4 years, influence an institution that will be teaching our people skills, whether it is shoemaking, hairdressing, and these people, they are the basic crux of every economy, the petty traders. So as a person, I've looked at all these areas and carefully written a very beautiful bill that will fly and become a law, that our people will have the access to funding, because most times if you ask the youths, even someone that is in secondary school, they have all the mindset, all the ideas. Even yourself, you have very beautiful ideas, but the basic issue is capital. And capital does not just come from the air. It comes from investors, it comes from government, and maybe private support, or from your family, or maybe you save to establish such. So, in my own view, I've looked at, apart from establishing that this thing, immediately you graduate from there, there should be a sustainability plan that the executive arm, through the local government, because we already have what we call the rural development agencies, the areas are RODA, rural development areas. I think their job is to ensure that we engage these offices. We engage these offices to ensure that, and the councillors and local government to ensure that there is what we call, don't worry, let me not reveal it, so that my opponents will not go and pick it for. But we have lofty ideas to ensure that every Bayelsa youth, not just in constituency 2, every Bayelsa youth have access to the proper funding of whatever they want to go into. And even if they have already gone, like in this place, definitely as a worker here, you already know what is needed extra to bring in, expand your business, because business expansion is another thing where we can support as a government. So as a legislator, I have the expertise, the competence to lobby for grants, for loans, soft loans, and I mean, if I ask my people, I don't even know how many persons have been benefited from the Bank of Industry or Bank of Agriculture in my terrain. I cannot even, because I don't know any, but I know plenty people. But I don't know any because the people have not had access to these areas.
Okay, well, let's package it up at this point now. Let's have you share your final note to your constituents on your capacity and the promise of effective representation, how you intend to do all of this, I mean, in a final note.
Okay, my final note is to the Southern Naija constituency to elect the people that will vote for me. Do not look at APC, PDP, NDC, SDP, and whatever party they represent. Look at the candidates that can bring value to you. You are not able to support your child that is in school with as little as maybe 50,000 naira for school fees. Now school fees are being paid. You will not be able to do that because there are no support systems. I am coming in to bring in that support system, and the key to bring in the support system for your child to go to school, for you to go to your farm and ensure that your farm brings in productive results, and the key that will bring in development, the requisite development in infrastructure, so that you can have access to clean and potable water for drinking, and the key that will bring in that needed development so that our children going to the primary school, the public secondaries and primary schools, will have a comfortable place of learning, that the teachers and the students will match up. I am the key to that. I am also the key that the health care centers will be working. I'm also the key that referral center will be highly valued and work to become a CMON facility. CMON means you can have even surgical operations there, and secondary and even tertiary healthcare expertise or healthcare practice can be taking place in that area. That is a CMON facility. That and the sustainability for the future. And as a young person, I have the advantage of being in touch with you, coming down to your place to meet with you. What do you need? Individually, I will go to people individually to get felt need. Felt, what do you think we can do for you as an individual? What do you think we can do for you as your as a compound? What do you think we can do for you as a community, as a ward, as a clan? What do you think you need most? I am the person that can do that, that can bring that dividend of democracy to the people, in specific areas, in agriculture, in health, in infrastructure, in the economic boosting, a robust economy and sustainable. Let us have a constituency that will be self-reliant in economy and the rest, so that there will be money in the pocket of the youth, so that we will also avoid vices, drug abuse, and all these other things. You cannot always blame someone with drug abuse and the rest when you are not providing him with even anything to do. We engage them, and also the mental resetting. We have to reset our people mentally. That when you engage in this way, this is where you will end up. when you engage in a productive enterprise like this is where you end up. They need to see these things. The sensitization need to continue for life.
Alright.
And we are the ones to bring in that sustainability, and we know that government is behind me, and also the people. Most importantly, the people of certain constituencies, they are all behind me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Comrade Linus Sipi. It's been an interesting chat with you.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully that when you are there, you'd also come here and do this.
I also bring in development to you.
That's
because I'm representing the entire Bayelsa State, not just my people.
Well, that's because of your views, right? Yeah, so
yeah.
Of course, yeah. Well, yeah. Thank you so much, Comrade Sipi Linus. Comrade Sipi Linus is an Ayama-born. Well, he's not a politician, but I was going to say an Ayama-born, right? Who, of course, is the secretary of the. What's that union again?
I work with
Nursing Union in Rivers State.
Yeah.
Nursing Union in Rivers State. And he's one who looks to represent the Southern Ijaw constituency to where there are a number of clans, like 2 clans, majorly, right?
Yes, basically.
And then several communities.
Yeah.
Well, he's talked a lot about representation and how he intends to deliver effective representation on this episode of our program. Well, my name is Henry Ahamoifula. We wish him all the best in his electoral journey, and hopefully that he becomes the representative and does a lot of these things. My name is Henry Ahamoifula, like I said, and thank you plenty for being on the show.
Thank you so much. Please pray hard so that I will succeed. Thank you.
Right, from 1998 up until this present time, the Ijo Youth Council and the Ijo Youths have, it's been a very, very long history, and the formation of the Ijo Youth Council in 1998 through the Kayama Declaration, it's something that really has aided the area that's now known, of course, as Ijo territory, and there's been a lot of changes, in the struggle for, say emancipation, but a struggle for resource control, basically, struggle to ensure that the Ijo people have something from these resources that is abundant in their area. And so today let's talk about this changing phase of Ijo struggle and also the politics inside of this Ijo youth struggle. And so I'm joined today by someone who has been in the forefront of Ijo youth agitation. He is a one-time chairman of the Ijo Youth Council, Sentosan. He is Honorable Comrade Clever Suma Inodu, and it's good to have you. My name is Henry Amifla. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Alright, so let's expand on the struggle. Would you say that 1998 Kayama Declaration up until this time, you say that the Ijo Youth Council has we've really achieved a lot. The youths of Ijo Youth have really achieved a lot. Of course, there are a number of things that would say that have come out of the struggle. But then would you say that there's a lot that we've achieved? We point out to those things.
Okay, first, I love to be simply known or addressed as Clever Inodu.
Alright.
Because I don't really
all those
fancy these too many titles. It's not my thing.
Alright.
It's not my thing. So right from growing up and even while I was in office, I took exception to titles. Too many titles get into people's head and don't deliver on the need for while they are in positions.
So they will become it.
Individuals can go for it, can bear those titles, but to me as a person, as clever that I am, I just want to be addressed Clever Inodu. Okay. Now that being said, well, the struggle, I think, to my opinion, a lot has been achieved. A lot. Like the common saying, we are not there yet. We have been envisioned to be. The things we intend to achieve, we are not there yet. But if we want to begin to enumerate things that your people of the Naija Delta have achieved, I think sometimes we will go back home and even blame ourselves. Yeah. Resource control.